You don't need more marketing. You need connections. Most people who struggle to fill their beds assume their problem is visibility, but really it's connections. They think that they need more ads or more social media or a better website or better wording, but that's usually not even the issue. The real issue is that the right people don't know that their home even exists. And if the right people don't know that your home exists, then your beds are going to stay empty, no matter how nice the house is. So today I want to talk about outreach. Outreach and networking is the oxygen of your business. Marketing isn't bad, it's just often misplaced. Marketing works best when you're selling something that people are casually shopping for. But housing placement doesn't work that way. People are not scrolling Instagram looking for group homes. Caseworkers aren't usually Googling random listings hoping that something comes up for their clients. The placements happen through relationships. They happen because somebody knows you, they trust you, and they remember your name when they need a bed. That's not marketing, that's connecting with people and networking. If you trace almost every stable group home back to its referrals, you're going to notice a pattern. Their beds are filled by people who already work inside a system, people whose job it is to place others into housing. That's why your list matters more than your logo ever will. The people who should know about your group home are caseworkers, hospital discharge planners, nonprofits, social workers, mental health organizations, rehab and recovery contacts, foster centers, foster agencies, veteran services, church outreach programs, workforce development programs, and housing authorities. Don't think of these as just leads, though. These are gatekeepers. These are the people who have the clients that need to fill your beds. And most owners and operators never even reach out to these people. When somebody tells me that they can't keep their home full, I usually ask one question: who refers people to you? If their answer is vague or if it's non existent, then that tells me everything. Empty beds are rarely about demand. The demand is already there. They're about disconnection. The people who need housing are already inside systems, and those systems rely on trusted providers like you. If you're not in their world, then you're invisible to them. Outreach is not optional. It's not a bonus activity. It's not something you do later. Outreach is how your business breathes. It's the oxygen of your business. If you stop reaching out, the flow of referrals stops. That's why I call it the oxygen. Most people don't avoid outreach because it doesn't work. They avoid it because it's uncomfortable. They think, I don't want to bother anybody. What am I going to say on the phone? I'll reach out once the house is perfect, or I'm not ready yet to reach out to people. But here's the truth. The people that you're reaching out to are already looking for housing. You're not interrupting them. You're providing them a service and the answer to what they're looking for. Remember that outreach is service oriented, not salesy. You have to shift your mindset to think you're providing them a service. You're not pitching anything. You're helping them. You're offering them a solution to their problem. Caseworkers are overwhelmed. Hospitals are under pressure to discharge patients safely to a safe house, and nonprofits are juggling limited options. When you reach out clearly and professionally, you're not selling. You're just positioning yourself as a resource. Start with caseworkers. Caseworkers are often the first and the most consistent referral source. They're responsible for placing individuals into safe housing. Their biggest pain point is limited options. When you reach out to caseworkers, what they want to know is very simple: who you house, what kind of environment you provide, how quickly you can take somebody, and how to contact you. So they don't need a long story. They just need the facts that are going to help them. Hospital discharge planners. Hospitals face constant pressure to move people out safely. A delayed discharge costs them money. Discharge planners need housing options that they can trust. If your home fits their criteria, then being on their list matters. Most owners never contact hospitals, so the ones who do, they stand out. Nonprofits and mental health organizations often don't control the housing, but they do influence placement. They work with people who need stable environments. When you build relationships here, you're not just filling beds, you become part of their network. Rehab and recovery contacts. Rehab facilities often need housing options for people who are stepping down from treatment. They need places with structure and with clear rules. If your home fits that need, then they want to know that you exist. but they won't find you by accident. You have to reach out to them. Foster agencies. Young adults who are aging out of foster care need housing. Agencies are constantly trying to prevent homelessness during those transitions. If your home is appropriate for that population, then outreach here really matters. Veteran services. Veteran services oftentimes have funding and placement programs. They work with trusted housing providers. So getting on their radar does take effort, but once you are, the referrals can be consistent. Church outreach and community programs. Churches and community programs are often closer to the ground than people realize. They know exactly who needs help. They may not place directly, but they do influence those decisions. Relationships here are built on trust and consistency. Workforce programs and housing authorities. Workforce programs help people stabilize employment, but housing is often the missing piece. Housing authorities oversee vouchers and placements. These systems do move slowly, but once you're connected, that's a steady pipeline for you. Before you send a single message, you need a list. You need a real list. Who are the agencies in your area? Who are the people inside those agencies, and what do they do? Outreach is a process, not a one-time task. You don't reach out once and then disappear. Outreach includes your initial contact, the follow-up, relationship maintenance, and then consistent visibility. You have to stay top of mind with the people. That doesn't mean constant contact, but it does mean thoughtful and consistent contact. What to say when you reach out. So it doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need a whole pitch deck. You just need to be very clear on who you house and what you offer and how to reach you. That's it. Keep it professional, direct, and respectful. A lot of people reach out once and then they don't hear back from somebody immediately and then they just stop. That's a huge mistake. People are busy. You're busy. I'm busy. Everybody is busy. So follow-up is not annoying. It's necessary. That consistency builds that familiarity. Familiarity breeds trust. Outreach creates stability, not just occupancy. Outreach isn't just about filling the beds today. It's about creating this predictable flow. When you have multiple referral relationships, then you're not scrambling if you get a vacancy. You're operating from a place of stability. Outreach works better than ads. Ads can stop working for you overnight. Plus, algorithms change, costs increase, and attention shifts, but relationships compound. Once somebody knows you and they trust you, they remember you. So that's long-term value. This is the work that most people avoid. So that's why you need to do it. Outreach is that quiet work. It's that sitting at your desk and scheduling out your emails to go to these caseworkers. There's no applause. There's no instant gratification, but it's that work that keeps your homes full year after year. And the people who do this consistently don't worry about vacancies the same way other people do. That's why I teach my coaching clients how to easily stay top of mind with their referral list all year long. Over time, outreach turns into repeat referrals, warm introductions, and phone calls instead of cold emails. It also builds trust. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens by showing up consistently. You don't need to be perfect to start. Your home doesn't need to be flawless. You just need to be clear and be responsive for sure. And you need to follow through. That's what people remember. That's how you build a reputation. Your reputation is built through relationships, how you communicate with people, how you handle your placements, how reliable you are. Outreach is the doorway to that kind of reputation. Final thought, if your beds are empty, don't immediately assume that you need better marketing. Ask yourself, who knows about my home? If the answer is not many people inside the system, then you found the real issue. Outreach is not optional. It is necessary for your business. It's the oxygen of your business. So make your list or pay for a verified list of leads and start contacting people. Doors open when the right people know that you exist. If this video helped you rethink how you approach filling your beds, then you can subscribe to get updates weekly directly from me. Go to grouphomeonautopilot.com. I've shared what I learned in the past 6 years of running 3 co-living homes in San Antonio, Texas, while I live in Los Angeles, California. And if you're ready to move from hoping to fill your beds to being known and having constant referrals, this is where that shift starts. I'll see you in the next video.